Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, yeah, the SEC fiasco in the first round. Oh, my gosh. We had 5 big upsets, and we're going to do an Ncaa tourney update, but it was a bad day for the SEC. Good grief, it was ugly.
We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Okay, just calm down.
Yeah, it couldn't have gone much worse. Our pets' heads definitely fell off for the SEC. Jeez, it was unbelievable. The 2 worst upsets by far happened to SEC teams. And let's get into this. And Greg Sankey is taking a lot of grief. He was complaining about the automatic qualifiers for the Ncaa tournament. He said it's not going over well. The SEC started out 1-5 yesterday. Texas A&M and Alabama came through, so we wound up 3-5. But we still had 5 straight upsets with SEC teams. And we know number 8 seed Mississippi State, they lost to number 9 Michigan State. That's not a big upset. And then Florida lost Colorado in a heartbreaker by 2 points. But the number 6 seed South Carolina got beat by Oregon, which surprised me. Everybody thought South Carolina would move forward. But then you had the 2 monster upsets, and that was Kentucky, a 3 seed, getting beat by number 14 Oakland. And Oakland had that dude out there that hit 10 3-pointers, set shot Buford or whatever his name is. That was crazy. That guy was throwing it up sideways, backwards, fading away, and they couldn't stop him. I can't understand how they didn't put their best athlete on him the entire day and then switch off on him. It just didn't make sense. I would have never let that guy get that many shots. But honestly, he was doing some freak things. And then we had the real bad upset of Auburn getting beat by Yale. Yale. They're in the Ivy League. I didn't know they played basketball. God. That was a rough loss for Auburn. I'm telling you, that almost killed Charles Barkley. He was not happy about it. He's probably going to be in counseling for a couple of months over that.
Oh, no, no.
And here's some of the social media people talking about it. It says the SEC is now 1-5 in the tournament. Fortunately, like I said, Alabama and A&M sort of saved us. It says no wonder Greg Sankey wants to get all these small schools out of the dance. And Sankey had said, we are giving away highly competitive opportunities for automatic qualifiers from smaller leagues. And I think that pressure is going to rise as we have more competitive basketball leagues at the top end because of conference expansion.
You sure about that?
That didn't age so well now, did it? Jeez. That didn't age so well now, did it? Jeez. Here's a lady that says, did Greg Sankey jinx the SEC? Here's College Sports Only said, Greg Sankey really just said the NCAA tournament should get rid of auto bids right before 2 of the SEC's 3 best teams lost to Oakland and Yale. Oh, jeez. Here's a guy that says, Greg Sankey deserved every bit of those last few minutes. Don't lay a finger on our tournament. And here's the thing. There's already 68 teams in the tournament. You got 64 plus the 4 play-ins. That's a lot of teams. I don't think anybody's really getting cheated with that many. And there's even talk of going to 80, which I think is crazy. But Greg Sankey needs to get a grip on this because those automatic qualifiers are fine. They need to be left alone.
You know.
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
Yeah, I got to agree with Dr. Evil on that one. How about no? And the Kentucky fans, they're in a total meltdown. They want rid of their head coach, Calipari, and they don't mean maybe. They're really having a tough time. This is the second time they've gone out in 3 years in the first round, and in between that, they went out in the second round. They've been beaten by a 15 seed and now a 14 seed. So things are not happy in Kentucky land. I can tell you it's been a struggle. Now let's take a look at the NCAA update and kind of see what's going on. Because my Vols are playing tonight. It's actually at 8 o'clock, not 7 o'clock. I don't know where I got 7 o'clock. Maybe it was Central Time, but it's 8 p.m., and they're playing Texas, which is a great rematch for Coach Barnes. He was the head coach of Texas for 20 years before they canned him. Now that you look back at it, that wasn't a very good move on their part because they've struggled ever since then. And Tennessee looked really good. Granted, it was a small club, but they were up by 30 points before you even knew it. And at this point, we're in the round of 32 because everybody's played their first round. Houston won. Texas A&M, man, that's tough. A&M's got to play Houston. And that's Sunday at 8:40, folks. All right, you got Duke versus James Madison. Madison beat Wisconsin. That was an upset, so Duke's in good shape. We've got the two big upsets here, NC State and, of course, Oakland beating Kentucky. That's still a shocker. But this is two Cinderellas right here. Colorado, who surprised – well, I don't think that was a surprise, though, that Colorado beat Florida. Florida had lost a key guy. So Colorado versus Marquette. Then you got number 1 Purdue against Utah State. I'm hoping we meet Purdue in the Elite Eight. Let's see, Gonzaga against Kansas. That's a great game. Oregon versus Creighton. That might be who we're up against next if we can beat Texas. We may very well be facing Creighton. This is the game of the day for us, Texas versus Tennessee. And let's see, let's go over to the other side. Arizona's playing Dayton right now. Baylor's playing Clemson. Alabama is playing Grand Canyon. I think that's tomorrow. Michigan State's playing North Carolina, number 1. That should be a good game. Michigan State's pretty tough. Iowa State, a number 2 seed's playing Washington State. Illinois Duquesne. And here's our Cinderella that beat Auburn. Gah! Auburn had them by 10 points, man. And they had every opportunity at the end. They're going to play San Diego State. Then Northwestern's playing UConn. So there's you a quick update on the round of 32. Should be a very exciting day. I'm looking forward to the game tonight, obviously. And SEC needs to finish strong. You've got 3 teams left. That's Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Alabama.
Alabama!
And they need to win some ball games. Otherwise, the SEC is looking like crap. What a horrible start. Literally 1-5 and 5 upsets. And the 2 worst upsets of the entire tournament. Anyway, Greg Sankey probably needs to hush up a little bit. Needs to focus on football. That's one thing he can crow about. You probably don't want to crow about basketball right now. I really thought the SEC was tougher than that. We had some good teams this year, but they kind of crapped the bed in the first round. And by the way, we've got so much going on in college sports right now. It's crazy. Not only have you got the NCAA tournament, but the ACC is literally imploding. You've already got Florida State suing the ACC countersuing them. You've got Clemson suing the ACC. They just countersued Clemson. And you've got North Carolina. They're doing some saber rattling. They may be the 3rd team to sue the ACC. There is so much going on with this realignment and conference expansion and the Big Two, what's going to happen to the ACC. It's really gotten crazy. And over the next coming months, we're probably going to see more movement during that time than we've seen the last 50 years. I've never seen so much news in an off season when it comes to football and sports in general as we're seeing right now. It's really been something. And I'm going to keep track of that. I'll probably do a show on that in the next 24 to 48 hours. And it's going to affect the SEC. It's going to affect the Big Ten big time because most of those top teams are going to wind up in one of those 2 conferences, almost certainly. And you can expect Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, Virginia, Virginia Tech, NC State, Notre Dame, Miami, all those teams are going to eventually wind up in one of the Big Two. So we'll be watching that very closely on top of course, the NCAA tournament. So anyway, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover all these college sports. If you've not subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Hit this little button. It will cost you not a dime, and it helps me out. And right over here is the most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy based on your viewing history. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.